Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Mirror's Reflection once again. Let us have another session of important motivational and inspirational topic. And today I am super charged to present before you a very important and practically very important usage, and we should call it I want to call it a motivation to you to. It is a community e-waste collection drive. Community e-waste collection drive, and that is the motivation and the inspiration of today's session. So let's have the details and let's begin. Now, electronic goods or the gadgets what we use in our daily life, and also keeping the work from home concept for the last 2 years in the pandemic session, we are using a lots of electronic gadgets nowadays in our home, and work from home was actually for the last 2 years. It has now been in the regular pattern now, but using of the gadgets so much, and the usage of electronic goods has become the word of the day. Without the electronic goods, because serving the work from home generally is an application of the laptops or the chargers or the electronic goods, and lots of everything what it requires to execute the job, still working and from the comfort of the home. So this is an implementation when we have came upon in the last couple of years. Now the usage of electronic goods are very much there, but have we thought of have we been motivated in any way to think how we can recycle the wastes when these laptops and these palm tops or the mobile phones or the chargers do not works, or they are rejected, or they are not functionable? What do we do with those electronic gadgets? The electronic TVs, we are purchasing LEDs, we are purchasing home theaters, we are purchasing sound systems. Very good. But when they do not are beyond repairs, when they are not being maintained, or they cannot be repairable, have we think of what should we do with it? We generally is carrying a concept that let us call the kabadi walas and get through them in some prices to have some revalue of the assets which which have tried to recycle, which we have tried to repair, but it has not get repaired, and so we want to sell it off just in the value of the scraps. But really it is a concern to the society now, and Mirror's Reflection today have thought these topics should be brought up and to be shared with our friends to have the motivation of getting those e-wastes to be recycled in a organized way to save our environment. That should be the motivation. Now, generally in a household there are lots of such rejected materials and lots of electronic wastes which we generally gathers in some storerooms for some years, and after that we call some kabadi walas and we just sell it off. But in nowadays things are advancing, so there should be a motivation that how it can be recycled in a very scientifically and technological ways. That is a very important aspect which we have to keep upon, and we have to check what can we do and what can we think of in the process. That is what we will be discussing in today's motivational session today. Let us have a look on the cycle of the waste recycling process. So the cycle actually starts from the collection of the deliverables. Actually, what is the waste product? That is suppose a desktop or transistor is not working, and I have decided to get it off from my house. So some collectors are there who are collecting wastes as like the other general kabadi walas which they do collects every household rejected steel materials, metal materials, plastics, bottles, etc. But these e-recyclers are there who actually collects the materials of the rejected electronic goods from the houses in the community level. Now in the process of these recycling, after getting it collected, they actually disassembles the product. They are generally do have a PCB, they are generally do have a circuit or a motherboard chip circuits which they extracts out from the metal body. Now metals or the plastics and these motherboards and these chip levels are being sorted out or disassembled in the first step after the material gets collected. Now they are then actually cast. These PCBs and the electronic boards are cast to small pieces by means of special electronic grinders. There are grinders which actually grinds these electronic circuit boards. After they gets grinded, there are magnetic separators which actually separates the magnetic, there is a metal portions out from the chips. After these metal portions are being extracted, these metal portions are sedimented and they are heated to form the liquid metals, and it can be used in the formation of some new metallic products. So by this way, extracting out the metallic parts from the chips is a process, and the circuit boards what they have been formed, they are crushed and they are being dismantled. Now by this way of purification, the products are dismantled and they are reused, and the part of the things which can be extracted and can be used in the manufacturing process again. Suppose in the plastics, which we can see the plastic water bottles, they are collected and they are also recycled. The cold drink cans, the tin metal parts, these metallic parts, they are being collected in the general community level, and they are being recycled to the furnaces, to the heat furnaces, and they are being recasted, and after transforming those into the molten metal, and they are being casted again to some shapes. So by this way, these are getting recycled. So community level of collection may be a very important motivation first. So we should not just throw these electronic goods this and that, because these are non-degradable wastes which actually has to be thought of, and in an organized way this has to be disposed of. Simply if we just throw it off in the ground, they will not get disposed. If we just place them into the soil, they will also even not dispose. In the reverse way, they will be affecting the fertility of the soil if they are being plunged into some deep levels inside the mother earth, and these are not the process, not the way of disposing these electronic gadgets and the goods. So primarily we should have a thought, we should have a motivation what and how we should think of handling these e-wastes, electronic wastes. Now the whole purpose of e-waste aggregation and recycling process is to create a circular economy. When a product reaches its life cycle, it should be recycled. Suppose for example, if we are having a laptop, suppose it is not working, its hard disk have been corrupted, or its motherboard has got a problem and it cannot be repaired. But suppose that the panel or the desktop or the screen can be used because it is okay and it is functioning. So motivation is to be that the panel can be reused, extracting out the motherboard and all. So if it can be handled in this way, these wastes can be reused and it can be recycled. So there are certified e-waste collectors. If you can search the internet, if you can go through the online programs, or you can search the net, we can come to know that there are certified e-waste collectors who actually collects the wastes Also, there are different brands today, the established brands of the electronic manufacturing goods. They are actually in turn collecting the products which they have sold in the market, which is now working today, and a consumer wants to give them back. The companies are also there, and they are coming up to collect those products for a organized recycling. So this awareness again is a very important motivation which we should grow up today, and from nowadays onwards such advancement of science and technology will definitely be helping us, and electronic goods and gadgets are the ways of our life now. But at the very same time, we should have to think of recycling the wastes, how we can do, and so we have to search of a reseller, search of a brand, purchase such brands which can be recycled of. Maybe it sounds very odd today. If you are hearing me, it may be sounding odd that it cannot be always possible to select a product after getting the information of the recycler who will be recycling after it will be worn out. So it will not be possible in every situation. But awareness definitely can be the motivation. Awareness can be grown up so that we can choose such electronic gadgets and electronic goods and brands, so that after it gets distorted, after it's beyond repairs, we can give them to the certified resellers who are certified and who are experts in recycling this type of products in an organized way, and that should be the motivation, and they can recycle the thing in a proper way such that environment can be saved. Our most important motivation is to save the environment, save the living organisms, and present us a society of a living which is full of plants and full of healthy oxygen. So technology should generally advance, but recycling of wastes and recycling of e-wastes should definitely be very important, and that should be the motivation. So let's join hands to bring out the awareness of bringing the e-waste recycling programs more and more in our society, in our groups, in a wider level, to bring up a healthy atmosphere to live in. That's all for today, friends. We will be bringing up more and more such motivational contents with a new aspects and a new outlook with time. Thank you so much.